Hi guys, this is Coffeeyay for HUSNG.com. I'm doing part 2 in my series Math and Heads Up Sit and Goes. Just a quick review from the last one. I know it's been a little bit longer than I originally anticipated. Our goal again is just maximizing our total equity. In the first part we solved the simplest case where the villain is all in. And basically the result that we derived, right, was just that calling according to pot odds is maximizing your equity. And, that's what it means. That's why pot odds are correct in those cases where people go all in, is that when you call according to them, you are maximizing your equity. And then I showed some ways to use these different things to derive ranges using software. And gave some common solutions, equities to keep in mind. One mistake I made is that Equity Lab is actually not only in German. It's also available in English. And it's a good tool. I know a lot of people who enjoy using it. And it does make some of the, when you're trying to compute calling open shoves, it makes life a little bit easier because you can use fractional equities. It has a number of other cool features. All right, so on to today's topic. We're talking about fold equity. So last time we basically said our fold equity is 0. And in the cases where a villain is all in, that's obviously the case. But obviously in many other situations, when we're raising or betting, our fold equity will not be 0. And so we definitely should be taking it into account. And we want to have ways to be able to deal with fold equity and deal with maximizing that part of our equation. So one of the things to know is that fold equity is proportional to the pot size. It's just what what we win when we fold, and also to the percent of villain's range that we fold out. It's nice to know that it is linear in the villain's range size. So the more of villain's range we fold out, the proportionally more equity we get. And so just our fold equity is just equal to the percent of the time villain folds times the pot size. So F equals fold percent, P equals pot. We win when villain folds. So unfortunately, this actually can get pretty complicated. So when we have that total equity equation, it depends on villain's range, both in terms of fold equity and pot equity. Those are the times where it's complicated. If we're folding out, if we're making an open pre-flop and we're folding out 20% of villain's range, yes, we're winning some fold equity. 20% of villain's range is folding and giving us the pot. But the other 80% is playing against us, and it will be stronger post-flop than 100% range. So it's going to be things that we'll have to look at and deal with later on, is situations in which you have both things active, and you do have to know that the more villain folds, the stronger is continuing.